Hey everybody, so today I am going to show you how to do a crown Sinnet keyfob, and basically I've got 4 feet of each color. I'm using the silver diamonds and neon yellow, so I have 4 feet of each. And the first thing you're going to do, we're just going to jump right into this. The first thing you're going to do, this is your center point, this spot right there. So off your center, you're going to create a loop this way, and you're going to create a loop this way. It's going to be kind of in the shape of an S, a backwards S. Alright, now what you're going to do with this piece, this 4 feet, you're going to find the center point right here, and you're going to lay it over top of that S. Now you can try to pick this up all together. So you've got your S. I'm going to zoom in on this just so you can see what I'm doing here. So you've got your S underneath of your other 4 feet. So you've got on your silver here, silver diamonds, you got 2 feet going that way, 2 feet off this way. You're going to take the bottom portion, go underneath of these first 2, 1, 2, and then take it up through this loop. And that goes up toward the top. Now you grab your other one, the one that started at the top, you do the same thing. You go under the first 2 and up through that loop. Now what I want to do here is just kind of stop. This is the bottom. This is where your keys are going to go. Either one of these clips here, or you can put a key ring on there. So what we have to do is we have to feed this all the way back through to this point right here, because this is the bottom. And we'll end up flipping this over in just a second. So I'm going to take this, just kind of feed this up through here. You're going to have to go through this loop here with the clip. Pull that through and then bring it up over and around. And now you can see we're going to be right at the bottom. So go ahead and pull everything tight. So just do everything a little at a time. You'll get there, and then eventually you'll have kind of a cool looking checkered not cheddar, like a checkered pattern knot, if you did it right. So we'll pull all this tight. Okay, get that tight, and that one. Now put this at the bottom, which is this side here, and we're going to flip this over. Now you can kind of see now what we've got going here. This little clip is making it a little hard to get this tightened up. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. Alright, so once you get to this point, this is you're gonna work this way basically until the desired length. So to do this, it's real simple. You're just gonna pick one of these, you're gonna take it directly over top. Just like that. Now you're gonna take this one, cross it directly over top. Same thing with this. Now you want to do this in order. So wherever you start, let's just say we start at 6 o'clock. Okay? So you're going to take 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. You're going to take 3 o'clock, and you want to work in a counterclockwise motion when you do this. So 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, the 12 o'clock down to 6, and then your 9 o'clock is going to go over this one, but you have to take it through the very first one that you did. You have to go through that loop, down through that loop. Alright, and then just kind of pull these tight, just a little at a time until they all tighten up. It takes a little practice to get used to this part of it, but once you got it, it's not too bad. So it doesn't matter what part of the clock you start at, just as long as when you get to the last one you go through that loop. Alright, so we can start at 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Alright, so now once you do that, you're going to go clockwise. You're going to go counterclockwise, then clockwise, then counterclockwise, then clockwise. So now we have to go this way. So now we're on our clockwise. So 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then you've got our 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, but don't forget to go through that first loop. If you don't go through that first loop, the knot won't be completed. And you'll notice right away if you did it wrong, because it just won't work. Alright, I'm going to do one more here. It's nice and tightened up. Me and my sister used to make, used to have these little plastic, I don't know what they were, like kind of flat plastic strands. We used to make bracelets and stuff doing this exact method. Man, that was 20 years ago at least. Alright, so one more. We got to go counterclockwise now. So 6 to 12, 3 to 9, 12 to 6, and then you got your 9 to 3, but go through that loop. So yeah, I've always been kind of a little bit of a nerd. Even growing up, I always did kind of nerdy stuff. I was in Boy Scouts, which I liked a lot. That was a lot of fun. Alright, so get this nice and tight. There we go. I'll tell you what, I really like this Silver Diamonds color. It looks good with just about anything, any solid color you put with it. But as you can see, we're starting to work our way down. You can see the pattern we're making. I'm going to go down about 3 or 4 inches on this, and I'll be back to show you how to finish it up. Alright, so now you can see I'm getting, I don't know, I've got about 3.5 inches here. Gone quite a ways down here. I want to show you one little trick that I kind of figured out while I was doing this. After you go and you do your crossovers, and then the last one goes through the loop, a good way that I found to tighten this is to get 2 cords off to the right and 2 off to the left, and then just kind of wiggle it forward and backwards like that. It tightens it right up to where you need it to be, and that'll save you a lot of time when you're making these. I'll show you another one real quick, just so you can see how easy it is to tighten that up. Get my thumb out of there, it might tighten up easier. So you're just going to grab your 2 cords on the left and 2 cords on the right. Well, I kind of messed that one up a little bit. It was easily fixed. Much quicker than if you were tightening it, you know, how I was before. But that's a good little trick. Now this is going to be the last tie that I do on this one, so I want to go ahead and make sure that these are extremely tight. So I'm going to pull on each one. I'll get this last one here, and all we're going to do, we're going to finish this off just like we would a bracelet. Just going to cut the end off, and then we're going to singe it. And you definitely want to use the low part of the flame on these so that you don't burn the ends. All you're trying to do is melt it. You want to get a real good melt on the end right there. And once it's melted, I have a metal tool here. I'm just gonna use this kind of a rocking motion, and that'll get that locked in there perfect. Alright, now I'm just gonna go to the next one. Now I cut that one kind of close. I don't think I'm gonna cut this one as close because it didn't leave me a whole lot to melt. So I'm just gonna back off just a little bit. And I would say that this is probably perfect. This is right where you should cut it off. You have just enough. I don't know if you can see that, but you have just enough so that when it melts, it kind of squishes down real nice and good. So let me get this going. There are some different variations of this you can do. There's a round, it's called a round crown Sinnet. I'm probably going to be doing that one very shortly. It's one of JD's variations. I tried to see if there was another one similar in the Ashley Book of Knots. I wanted to make sure I was giving it the whole. I wanted to make sure I did my research on these. This is one that's in the Ashley Book of Knots. I think it's 1847, I believe. I could be wrong. I was just looking at it, so I'm just going by memory. I'm probably wrong. There's quite a few sonnets in the in that book. Great book, by the way. If you ever want a picture from that book, I'll post the website. There's a website where you can take a look at the pages of that book. But if you don't already have the book, I strongly recommend it if you're into all this. I think it's kind of expensive. It goes for about $80. I got really lucky and found it at a garage sale though. Go. And we got one more here, our final one. Oh. There we go. Get this melted. Now, I prefer a torch lighter over a Bic lighter any day, but because of these lights that I use in these videos, you can't see the flame. But there you have it. That is what is called a crown Sinnet, and we just added a clip on there. You can clip on your key ring. So you got your keys on the other end of this. You just clip it in there, and now you've got yourself a nice little key fob. But there it is. Hope you like it. Thanks again for watching. Oh, and don't forget, there is a new Paracord group on Facebook. It's called Paracord On. I'll put a link down at the bottom for it, but a lot of great people are in there showing off their creations and their ideas. So stop on by. It's facebook.com/groups/Paracord On. And I'll see you there, and until next time, Paracord On.